Okay, so welcome everyone to our webinar. We are talking about the oils in the Premium Starter Kit, which is what most of you have whenever you enrolled as a member in Young Living. I want to thank you all for being here today. And after we're finished, if you have any further questions, we'll refer you back to the person who first introduced you to Young Living. There's a lot of people on here, and they're not all just related to me personally. So if you have someone that you know that referred you here, then go ahead and contact that person whenever we're finished. And if for some reason you haven't, you can contact me. You can email me at teamgetspoiled@gmail.com, and I'm going to type that in the chat. It's teamgetspoiled@gmail.com. And so if you have any questions that you can't get answered or you can't contact your person, you can contact me. That would be fine. But I'm really excited that you joined us. There's a lot of people that don't get the opportunity to attend an in-person or a live version of getting to know their oils. So just really, I'm so thankful that you're here and you're ready to get to know your oils a little bit better. We're going to talk today about, of course, all of the oils that came in your starter kit. And before we do that, I want to just ask you all, or for the ones who have audio, I think we only have one person that has audio. What is it that you hope to learn today? Because I want to make sure to answer the questions that you do have. And for those of you who don't have audio, if you want to type it, I'll answer the questions in the chat too. It should be on the right side of your screen, I believe, on most people's computers. But let's see, I think Renee has audio. So Renee, is there something in particular that you're hoping to learn, or just was it more general knowledge?
Just general knowledge right now.
Awesome. Okay, that sounds wonderful. So we will go ahead and get started. And again, if y'all think of any questions, because often the questions come up as we are doing the actual talk, and you can type them, and whenever I'm finished, I will either address them as we go, as I see them, or we'll do it whenever I'm finished. And so I just want to tell you a little bit about why I love Young Living, because a lot of people ask, why do you choose this company versus, say, buying them off of a grocery store shelf or buying them over at your local department store? And my answer to that question is that I actually have bought them from department stores, and I actually have bought them from grocery store shelves, and I was never very impressed with them. And so anytime somebody would try to introduce me to essential oils, I would say, well, you know, they smell nice, but that's really all there is to it, right? And they'd say, no, you really should try better oil. And so I really didn't know what they were talking about until one day one of my friends finally introduced me to Young Living. And what she was telling me is that you really have to try this. They're different. They're therapeutic. They have this thing called the Seed to Seal Promise. And I was like, okay, that doesn't mean anything to me. You'll have to explain that. And so she showed me the catalog, and at the time it obviously wasn't the 2016 one, but anyway, in the front of everybody's catalog, this is something you get when you become a Young Living member, so I know you all have one. On page 7, there is the Seed to Seal Promise, and what that means is basically, in a nutshell, that they are the people who plant the seeds, and they are the people who seal your bottles and everything in between. So no matter where on the globe you go, they have farms on every continent, and they are in a whole bunch of countries. I can't even keep up with how many countries we're in now. But in the front of the catalog, they show some of the bigger farms. And so you're welcome to visit the farms at any time. They have a pretty much open door policy, and they're always looking for volunteers to help pull weeds and just help out on the harvest times. So it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. So we won't spend a whole lot of time else on the company, but I just wanted to tell you guys that all the information you need is right in that front of your catalog. The other thing that people ask usually next, is Young Living just essential oils? And it's really so neat that their catalog follows along the most commonly answered questions, because then the very next thing after the farms is it shows you that no, they're not just oils, but they have all oil infused products. And whenever you infuse other products with essential oils, your body receives it up to 85% better with absorption. Whether it's a supplement that you take, like they have this one's the multi-greens. This is one that I take every day. It's all your greens in a capsule plus some oils. And then like the thieves products, like the laundry detergents and the cleaners. And I have some of those here as well too, because they're my favorite. And I just took them off my kitchen counter. And then, of course, like their skincare, their personal care line, like they have lip balm, they have lip gloss, they have shave oil, they have so many different soaps, body wash, hand lotion. The lavender hand lotion is one of my it is my favorite lotion of all time. It just is, hands down. So that's something else. Young Living is not just essential oils. And then the next thing I get asked the most is, how do you use these oils? Do you just use them in the products that they give you? Do you like just use them in the lavender lotion, or do you just use them in the laundry detergent? And no, of course, we have these little bottles of God's goodness, given to us from Mother Earth. And so there are 3 common ways to use these essential oils. And the very first way that most people are more comfortable using their oils is aromatically, because we're all used to really smelling things. Like we're used to smelling air fresheners and, fabric softeners and things like that. But what I discovered in my journey to wellness was that all of these synthetic fragrances that are in your home, they are disrupting your hormones. And so it is super, super important to place getting your house healthy with getting rid of the toxins in your house and getting rid of the most toxic substances in your house, which are things that have synthetic fragrances. So when we breathe things in, our lungs are one of our largest organs. So we're breathing it in, and our body, it's going all throughout your bloodstream in about 20 seconds, by the way. So it's super important to monitor what your body breathes in and what your children breathe in, and your husband and your friends and family and your pets even as well. So if you can see behind me, there is the diffuser. It is going in the background. It's a little far back, but I have a hard time picking the computer up. Maybe when we're finished, I'll bring it a little bit closer. But the diffuser, you just simply open the top, you fill the water up to the red line, and then you put in about 3 or 4 drops, and you just turn it on, and it's diffusing into your home, and it's diffusing wellness, and it's diffusing beautiful fragrances, and you can mix and match fragrances and create your own recipes, or you can just go with some tried and true that are already there for you. The next way, aromatically, like we just said, you can also just use your oils in your hands, and that would be considered aromatically, or inhaling them as well. So I'm going to take like a little drop of peppermint and put 1 drop into my hand, and your hands can serve as a diffuser. And so you can just cup your hands and breathe in. And I don't know if you've ever done that with peppermint, but it's one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. It's just so nice. And then I like to take it and put it on the back of my neck afterwards, because then it really just kind of cools me down. And later on, we have to go to a ball game, and it's pretty warm outside where I'm at. We're in South Texas, and it's pretty warm where we are. So I'll be putting that peppermint behind my neck. You can do the armpits. You can do behind the knees. You can do whatever you want. But that's another way to be able to smell the fragrances. Let's see which arm it's on. I also wear diffuser bracelets a whole lot. And so this is just a little bracelet that my daughters put together. You can get the beads over at your local crafting supply store. And so somewhere on the bracelet, there are diffuser beads, which are lava. And you can just drop your oils directly onto those lava beads, and they will hold the fragrance for about 2 to 3 days. It's amazing. And you can just layer different fragrances. And so then when you put it on, you're just kind of smelling it, because it's just sort of diffusing around your whole body. Another easy way to diffuse, like when you're on the go in the car, is to just drop some on a cotton ball and pop it in your car vents. That diffuses your car instantly. So that's some of our favorite ways to diffuse. Topically is the next way, and you saw me, we already did topically, so we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So you can just rub it straight onto you. You can also dilute it, but your skin is your largest organ, so keep that in mind. So whenever you pull out your lotion, make sure that you're able to read all the ingredients on the back, and that you can pronounce them, and you would put them in your mouth. Because if you won't read it, and you read it and you won't put it in your mouth, then it's probably something you should never put on your skin, because your skin is an organ, and it's your biggest organ, and you should treat it the same way that you should treat your digestive system. So if you wouldn't eat it or drink it, don't put it on your body. Internally, this is the last way. And I don't remember if I brought, here's my capsules. So certain oils are very, very tasty, and they're nice to drink. And so I'm going to actually demonstrate to you guys putting a drop of lemon oil maybe a little far away. This is lemon oil. And I'm going to only put 1 drop into my container of water. And so here's my container, and I'm just going to put 1 drop in there. And this is a rather large container. I think it's 32 ounces. And so if you'll notice, it's glass and it has a stainless steel top. You always want to make sure that you drink your oils out of anything made of glass, ceramic, like a coffee mug, or stainless steel, like a Yeti cup, or those popular stainless steel cups that everybody's using. Because the oils will grab onto the toxins in the plastic or the styrofoam, and you'll be drinking that. So we don't want that to happen. So just make sure you're keeping your oils in glass, stainless, or glass, stainless, or ceramic. No plastic, no styrofoam. The other way to take them internally is you can simply, they're good in like tea and coffee and things like that. They don't have to just go in water. You can also cook with them. They're great for cooking, like lemon. You can do like lemon pepper fish or lemon infused vegetables. And not just lemon, you can use peppermint. We do peppermint brownies. We make peppermint fudge. We make all kinds of great things. Wherever your recipe calls for an herb or a spice, you can substitute it with an essential oil. There's also another way to take your oils internally, and that's with a capsule. These capsules can be purchased directly from Young Living. They're also sold at your local health food store or on your favorite shopping network. My favorite one is Amazon. This would be for those oils that you're not very crazy about the taste. So for example, if you had a reason that you wanted to have peppermint and you're not crazy about the taste of peppermint, or 1 drop of peppermint is so powerful, but let's just say because you're having some sort of stomach disruption, you might want to take 4 or 5 drops of peppermint. And that's really strong. So instead of having to consume it all, you can see that they drop perfectly into this capsule. And then you can just put the top on it there. And then you'll be able to swallow it without having to taste the essential oil. So those are some ways to take your oils internally. Not limited to all, but those are a few choices. Those are the most common ways. All right, so moving right along, we're going to get right into the oils. Now, in the catalog, that's the next section. They go to the singles. We're going to start with the singles as well. But if you'll notice, look at all these just on 1 page. There's over 200 oils in this book. But we can't stay here all day. I homeschool and I got to get back after lunch. So we're going to have to cut this as short as possible. We're going to talk about only the top 10 most common oils and then 1 bonus oil. So we're going to start with the singles, and we've already introduced peppermint, so we'll start with that guy. Peppermint, if you have it, some people have been mailed either a little foil packet to smell, or some of you already have your oils. So go ahead and pull your peppermint out and give it a great big whiff. It is a wonderful, wonderful fragrance. It is super, super strong. Peppermint is really great for anything digestive, like we talked about putting it in the capsule. It's good for focus. So I like to diffuse it whenever we're doing our schoolwork. Your memory recall on peppermint is about 90% higher with peppermint than without. So if you're studying for something or your children are preparing for something, diffuse peppermint, and then whenever they go to test, you reapply the peppermint to their body, their wrist, their collar, somewhere they'll be able to smell it, the pencil, something, and they will be able to recall their information a whole lot better. Another thing that we like peppermint for, I mentioned before, is I like to put it in my tea or put it in my coffee. It's good for any kind of occasional soreness or aches. It's also known as the amplifier oil. So if you have anything else and you put peppermint on top of it, it drives the other oils in a whole lot deeper and a whole lot faster. So if I have some sore achy muscles, I'm going to put some peppermint on it. It's just an amazing, amazing oils. And again, the possibilities of using these oils is pretty endless. So we're only going to go over the most common ways. And then if you have any questions afterwards, we can kind of talk about that as well. All right, the next one we're going to get to is lavender. Now, lavender is known as the one that's, kind of the Swiss Army knife. It's kind of good for everything. When in doubt, apply lavender. That's what everybody likes to say. Lavender I didn't like the smell of lavender when I first smelled it, because I was used to the ones over at the bath stores, and it doesn't smell anything like that. I thought, I must have got a bad bottle. But what it really is that this is the way real lavender smells. I actually went out and bought a lavender plant over at the Home and Garden Center. And I brought it home and I'm like, okay, we're going to see like, what does real lavender smell like? I had never smelled it before. And lo and behold, it smells just like this bottle. And then I had the great privilege of visiting one of the Young Living lavender farms this past summer. And it smells like you just opened a bottle of lavender oil. It smells just like it. So now I know that the fragrances that I was smelling over in the bath stores was not true lavender. It was indeed a synthetic. And that's why it would give me a headache and why I couldn't stay in the store for more than 2 minutes without wanting to vomit. So this is the true lavender, guys. It's really great for bath time. It's really great for bedtime. It is really great for your skin. Anytime you have any type of skin disruptions or skin breaks or skin, like any type of bites or scuffs or anything like that, lavender is your go-to guy. It is just really, really great for everything. You can apply this one topically and you can diffuse it. And there's even a lavender that you can ingest as well. So I'll talk about that really quickly. Did you notice that the first bottle of lemon we looked at had a yellow label with right here, but it was mostly white. And then this one is a solid purple label. These white labels are labeled intending for internal use, meaning you can consume them. They're called the Vitality line. So this is like Vitality Lemon or Vitality Peppermint or Vitality Lavender, but this one's not the Vitality Lavender. However, the only thing different about the lavender is the label. So in other words, if I were to pick up a Vitality Lavender, it would have a white label and it would sit next to this one with a purple, but the oil inside would be identical. They are only labeled differently so that you know how to use them easier without having to read the tiny, tiny print. Okay? All right, so the oils can be consumed if they are advised on the labeling. The next oil that we're going to talk about is Copaiba. Now, this one's one you've probably never heard of before, but it is a single oil as well, and it smells very mild. You almost think it doesn't have anything in the bottle, to me anyway. But if I had to say what else it smells like, it smells a little woodsy, and that's because it does come from a small shrub. And the Copaiba is the closest in its chemical makeup to the cannabis plant of all things. And so it has very, very it's a very powerful oil, and a lot of people underestimate it because it doesn't smell very strong, but it is definitely the icing on the cake oil. It is my go-to oil for just about everything. It's good for gastrointestinal health because you notice it's consumable, and it is just really good for calming down anything on your body that's feeling a little angry, like angry muscles, angry stomach, or anything like that. So Copaiba is my go-to person for everything. I also layer this with almost every other oil. It's our icing on the cake. Okay, our next single we kind of introduced earlier was lemon. And lemon, of course, is in the citrus family. It's definitely great in your water. If you drink a lot of the citrus oils long-term, short-term, it's going to start removing toxins. But long-term, you're going to start to see a difference in the physical appearance of your skin, particularly the skin on your thighs and your hips and everywhere else that you get those cute little dimples. And so those little dimples are an accumulation of toxins in your body. And so as we start to detoxify our bodies over time, you're going to start to see your skin look more radiant, your skin's going to look more youthful, and it's going to be a lot more elastic like it was back when you were a little younger. Lemon is great to cook with. It's great in the diffuser. It's very uplifting. Lemon is one of my favorite oils to add to pretty much anything we're diffusing because it just adds freshness. And right now, with it already being spring outside, it's just time to bust out the lemon. Okay, our next single that we're going to talk about is frankincense. This is one of everybody's favorites. Frankincense is one of the most coveted oils out there. It is very powerful. You've probably been introduced to it before in the story of the birth of Jesus. And so we could probably just stop there by saying if it was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me, right? I think that it was probably, now this is just me, but I think that it was probably brought to Mary and to baby Jesus as a gift because it was very valuable, first of all. If you look at what was brought, it was gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They were all very, very, monetarily, they were valuable. But I think they had more value than just money, because I don't think that Mary and Jesus were interested in money at that time, to be honest with you, nor are they today. So frankincense is very, very healing, and it is very, very good for calming anxiety. So I don't know about you, but if I was about a 14-year-old something girl who just gave birth in a stable and didn't know if I was going to live or my baby was, I'd probably be a little anxious. So I'm thinking that these wise men that brought her to her probably knew that, and they're probably thinking she's pretty freaked out. They're also probably knowing that she's going to have some physical needs as well. Like she's going to need some help supporting her skin so that she can get on this journey, because she's going to be traveling and she's going to be having a lot to deal with. And look, she just gave birth. So I'm thinking that the frankincense was for more than just money. That's just me. But it's a great, great skin oil. You can add it to your favorite skincare products. I like to add it to like my lavender lotion. Lavender and frankincense together are a magnificent companion that helps to diminish your fine lines, and all your little flaws start to look a little bit better. Frankincense is just absolutely wonderful. It's also the #1 breast health oil. So imagine that. Again, Mary just gave birth. Like, wow, she's just going to, she's going to be using her breast, obviously. So it's the best breast health oil as well. So if you want to ensure that your girls are healthy long-term, I usually just pop, this one's just my bottle that I keep in here, but the one I have in my bathroom, I get a little bit bigger bottle, pop a roller on the top of it, and we'll show you the roller ball in just a second, but I pop a roller top on it so that I can just roll it right on after I get out of the shower. And it acts as a double duty, because here's the little roller top, so you can just roll it like that. It acts as a double duty because it's helping to calm you, get ready for the night, helping all those little squirrels go to bed, helping relieve whatever day's tensions that you just had, get you in your meditative prayer mode so you can say your prayers and to get tucked in. And then it also, that was another thing, like I'm sure Mary was praying at this time, so it really helps you to get into this mode. And then last but not least, it's just really, really great for breast health. Okay. So that was frankincense. Those are all of our singles. So all the single ladies are put away, and gentlemen. We're going to move right on to our blends. And the first blend I want to talk about is Panaway. And I want to do that one so I can show you this rollerball thing. Panaway was one of the signature blends that the company's founder, Gary Young, came up with, hence the name Young Living Oils, Gary Young. He had been in a very, very severe logging accident. It left him in a wheelchair, and he had some really bad lower body injuries. And so he was in a great deal of discomfort, as you can imagine. So he blended together this little concoction called Panaway, and I'm going to have to look up what's in it because I don't have all this stuff memorized. So luckily, if you need to tell somebody about it, you get this nice little script that goes with it. Okay, so in Panaway, there is peppermint, clove, heliochrysum, and so it is, and wintergreen. And so that is why there's a little childproof cap on this one as well, because wintergreen, when consumed in very large amounts, can have blood thinning properties. But because it's so good for circulation, it helps healing and to restore the circulation to your injured areas of your body. So this one's good for any type of discomforts. And since that's the case, and you're usually using it for your muscles, there's not as big of a reason to diffuse it as you would just to apply it topically. So I like to just go ahead and remove this little plastic top. You can use the top that came with it, tip it to the side, and use the threads of the inside to remove it. And then you take your little roller ball that comes with your kit. You put it right on top. It comes with a different color lid. It's black. You screw it all the way down. And when you screw it down, it is going to engage that roller onto the bottle so that it won't come off. And now you're ready to roll. And you can roll it on just anywhere that's not feeling great today. Okay, from that time of the month to your kids are driving you crazy, just whatever it is. Panaway. That's our little one with the roller. Okay, Diagize is our next one. And Diagize is a very, very powerful digestive blend. It is so well known for anything that's got you going too much, doesn't have you going enough, you had some nasty food in a restaurant, you drank some water in a foreign country, You name it, DiGize is your go-to for anything gastrointestinal. And it's a blend of fennel and anise and, let's see what else, patchouli, juniper, lemongrass, tarragon, peppermint, and ginger. And so it's also really good for when your stomach's feeling kind of queasy, just all the way around. So this one is a great one to ingest as well, because a lot of times people don't care for the smell of it. It's not the best smelling oil in the bunch. But this is when you can put in your capsules and you can ingest it. Or you can apply it to your feet, any of the oils that you don't like the smell of, or if you just like to use the VitaFlex points, you can just go straight to your feet with it. I think somewhere I had a VitaFlex chart. I'll have to look for it in just a second. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is RC. This is your respiratory care oil, and it has a blend of 3 types of eucalyptus, and it also has peppermint and myrtle and pine and marjoram, lavender, cypress, and suga. All of the blends have also a little bit of a carrier oil in them, which means it's something like a coconut oil or jojoba oil or something of that nature to help them to blend together all the single oils together. This one is our favorite, especially during this time of the year. We're pretty much diffusing this nonstop in our house so that everybody can breathe well, and it helps to combat and knock out those irritants and all that pollen that's floating around. All of our azaleas are in bloom right now. Like everything in our yard is in bloom. So it's also for us baseball season, so we spend a lot of time outside. This is our go-to oil. You can use it as a chest rub. You can use it in your diffuser. It's just a real amazing oil. You can just carry it around and sniff it all day if you like. It's just pretty darn good. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is purification. Purification, it's pretty much what its name says. It purifies things. It purifies your air. It purifies your body. It purifies whatever you put it on. I like to put ours in a big spray bottle and just mix water and purification and spritz it all over the house. We're diffusing it too, but like we spritz down pet beds, pet toys, we spritz down furniture, we spritz down tennis shoes, gym bags, book sacks, you name it. We are using the heck out of this purification because it doesn't just cover up the odor, it's actually destroying the bacteria. Purification is also good for when you start to get that little sinus tickle in your throat. At the very first signs of either my lymph nodes starting to clog up or my ears starting to get stuffy or my throat starting to tickle, I'll just take a drop of purification and start putting it just directly on my throat. This one's almost empty. And putting it under my ears, and it instantly just unclogs your ears and instantly starts to soothe your throat. Another good tip, especially for little ones, one of the safety tips that you should never do is you should never put oils in your eyes or in your ears. So when I said it unclogs ears, you need to keep it on all the areas of your ear you can touch with your finger without entering inside the ear canal. Your ear canal is very delicate. It contains your eardrum, and the oils are very powerful. We would not want them to cause any damage to your delicate membranes. So you can place it on a cotton ball and put the cotton in your ear, or you can just apply it to the external portion of your ear, the flappy, the flappy part, or beneath your ear works really excellent as well. We like to make little rice sachets with it too. I'll fill up like these little organza bags. Like, just take a little organza bag or even a sock that's mixed matched. You'd have all those lying around your house. Fill it up with rice and put purification or lavender or whatever you like, tie it up, and you pop this in your underwear drawer. You can pop it under the car seat. You can pop it under your trash can or diaper pail, and it just works wonderful. There's all kinds of great little tips. And as we do more webinars and you get on the Facebook group where we give you tips, you'll learn a lot of these little things so you don't have to remember it all today. Okay, and I know I'm going pretty fast, but I'm trying to get y'all out in your lunch hour for those of you who are off work. Okay, the last one I think we haven't covered yet is Thieves. This is like the best for last kind of thing. It's the signature product of Young Living, and yes, it is Thieves, like you stole something. And it got its name back from the 15th century whenever grave robbers during the time of the Black Plague were robbing graves, and they were not getting the Black Plague. And long story short, they come to find out that they were spice merchants and that they knew how to blend this particular blend of spices together to protect their bodies from being contaminated against this harmful virus. And so that's what we use it in our house for today. We protect our bodies with it from anything harmful in the air. So if we're around anybody that is sick, my oldest came home this weekend from college with the flu. How nice of him. He came home to get well so he could rest. And so we protected the rest of the people in our little house with the Thieves. We were diffusing it like crazy. We're rubbing it on everybody. We're protecting his body with it. Now, he had already contracted it, but it still helped him to recover so much faster because it's all promoting wellness in his body. The Thieves line is so powerful and so popular that they made a whole line of products. I don't know if you can see that here. I'll try to turn it a little bit more. Okay. So there's like Thieves laundry detergent, Thieves mouthwash. This is really, even the mouthwash doubles for a really good time whenever your throat's got tickles and not feeling well. Thieves toothpaste, because all your health begins in your mouth. Thieves lozenges or cough drops, really, really effective for coughs. The Thieves hand sanitizer spray, not hand sanitizer, surface hand sanitizer. So like when you're out the shopping carts, buggies, things like that, restaurant tables, this is your guy. This is the fruit and veggie wash. You have your dish detergent. There's just all kinds of stuff that they make with Thieves. This is just a few of the things that I grabbed right before I got on here today that was laying around my house. We absolutely love it. My favorite is the household cleaner, and I didn't have a chance to get it because it just came in my shipment and I didn't box it yet. But we mix it up. You just mix 1 capful of the Thieves household cleaner in a big spray bottle, like, the 1 liter spray bottles. And we use that for every surface in our house, including the floors, the toilets, everything. It cleans everything. You can throw away all your other cleaners. It does degreasing of your oven. My husband degreased his smoker outside with it. It's fantastic. And it costs less than any dollar store brand of the cheapest thing you can buy. It costs less. So we just absolutely love knowing that we're toxin-free and saving money at the same time. The last thing, we did all of the oils that are in the kit, but in the bottom, so let me show you what your kit looks like for those of you who haven't got yours yet. It comes in this box, and whenever you open it, that little tray of oils was sitting right on top, but I pulled it out for a demonstration for you today. But in the bottom, in the secret space down here, you get a little bonus bottle of Stress Away. Now, Stress Away does exactly what it sounds like. It's a blend of lime and ocotea and vanilla and a few other little oils, but it is just an amazing, relaxing, and calming and focusing blend. So this is a really, really great one to wear as your daily perfume, on your diffuser bracelets, or just to diffuse the heck of it in your house. It's fixing to be Easter. You're going to have in-laws coming over. This your girl right here. Okay. Also in the bottom of your box, there's this fantastic product called Ningxia Red. They give you 2 samples of it. And I promise you're going to want more, because this little product has changed the health of our house more than anything else. It has oils in it, and it's a great way to consume your oils every day. It's an antioxidant drink. It got its name. A lot of people call it Ninja, but it's actually Ningxia because it comes from a Chinese province of Ningxia. And in that province, they found that these particular villagers were outliving other people by approximately 40 years. And they had better eyesight, they had better fertility, they had better heart health, they had better they had better everything. Let's just say that. We'll just say that. They had better everything. And so all they could contribute it to is that the berry that was growing, that was a part of their diet, and it wasn't a part of neighboring villages' diets. And so it's been used for centuries by Chinese Olympians to enhance their Olympic performances. And so it is now being used in our house to improve our Olympic performances. And it has brought us to really great health for sure. You drink 1 ounce to 2 ounces per day. And that is to ensure that your body stays happy and healthy in all of its body systems. Okay, so that is the contents that come. So a lot of people say, well, that's probably going to cost a whole lot of money. And actually it doesn't. It's about a nice night out with your husband and a bottle of wine. It's $160 for the diffuser, for all 11 bottles of oil and the samples. So that is a steal of a deal. There's a couple of other ways that you could get started, and I don't know if you can see all this, but if you can't, I want you to get with the person who sent you here and have them send this to you. But these basically just show that you can get a variety of different diffusers. And then on the very bottom, there's the Thieves Wellness Kit, where you can bring all the Thieves products into your house, or that Ningxia Red Kit. So there's different options, and they all run approximately $160. Some of the diffusers are a much higher price tag. So this one is our base model, but it's fantastic. In fact, I highly recommend this model because there's nothing wrong with it, and it's very economical. All their diffusers have a 1-year warranty. And then there's also one other little program that I wanted to talk to you about, and that is called, and I don't know if I have my paper in front of me, and it's called the Rewards Program. And so with the Rewards Program, this is how you save the most money in your house, hands down. Because a lot of people are saying, oh gosh, this is another way to spend money in our house. And actually I say no. This is what I told my husband. I was like, dude, we are going to save you money. Because I can say, and my husband is here, I can bring him over if you don't believe me. Our kids have only been to see a doctor for broken bones and surgeries in almost 5 years. So it has definitely saved him a lot of money. And the best way to save the money is to be on the rewards program. So with the rewards program, here it is. Let's see if I can put it up against this so you don't see through the back. The rewards program is like an auto ship where you're going to replace all the things in your home. Like you're going to now replace the detergent. You're going to replace the cleaner, the mouthwash, and things like that. And you'll throw in a few oils there. And every time you order, you're going to earn 10% back for the first 3 months. And then after 3 months, you're going to earn 20% back. And after 2 years, you're going to earn 25% back. And they'll give you points. And then they also give you a free gift every 3 months. So every 3 months, like after your first 3 months, you usually get a bottle of peppermint or grapefruit. And then after 6 months, you get another free bottle of oil. And then on top of all that, every single month, they have these special promos where they give you even more free oils. So it's really fantastic. It's a great way to commit to wellness. It's a no-brainer for me because I know when things are easy, when they're delivered to my door, I'm going to use them. And so I know that if I click it, put it in my cart, and it's delivered, I don't have to think about it. And I don't have to sit at the grocery store or the department store and go, what's healthy? What's toxic? What's good for my family? I know that every single thing that comes out of this catalog is good for my family. I don't have to second guess it. So I can just sit here every month and browse through my little catalog, load my cart up. It comes right to my door. I'm saving money and I'm getting free products. My husband's happy. My house is happy. My house is healthy. And we are just living our Young Living lifestyle. We just absolutely do. So that is going to conclude our little presentation of how you can have health and wellness in your life by using and getting to know Young Living. And so I want to invite you to share this with others and really consider taking that journey with us into health and wellness. So we're going to end it now, and I want you to get off, and I want you to call the person who invited you here, and so you can ask them how to begin your journey. You can go to youngliving.com and take a look around, but this is a referral-based company. They give us little bonuses for referring our friends. And so if you tell somebody about it, you'll get a little bonus as well. So please, please, please make sure you check with the person who told you first about Young Living and who invited you here to this webinar today, because we want them to get their little free products for saying thank you for having you as a guest here on our webinar and becoming a Young Living member. So thank you all for joining us. I'm going to stop the recording so we can ask questions if you like, but I don't want to keep anybody over time. So again, thank you for joining us.